Today's topic is, are you a feminist or are you just feminine? So, a lot of our sisters, I see, we fall under not adhering to the Most High's order, such as being a feminist, believing, I got my degree, I got the bag, I don't need a man, I'm independent, I could do this on my own, I've been hurt so much, that there's no need for a man in my life. I have a son and I can raise him to be a man. Or I have a daughter and I'm going to teach her that she don't need no man, that she needs to be independent. She don't need to depend on no man. And all these things that we may inquire, we have to always sit back and say, but regardless of what I feel, does this align with the Most High order? I myself was someone that did not identify as a feminist, but my actions aligned with being one. I did have the mindset of, I'm independent, I'm strong, I don't need a man to help me. If need be, I need to get an oil change, I can go get it done. Or I'm a person that likes to learn and be self-sufficient. I could do it on my own. Having a child, a young man, I can raise him to be a man. And all these things, or shall I say this mindset, was leading me to the lake of fire. In all honesty, this mindset was not leading me to a path of righteousness, a path of peace, a path of order, a path of being aligned with the Most High will. So everything that we do, everything we say, everything we inquire within our being for it to actually manifest, it has to align with the Most High word, with His order. Even with going back to Genesis. So let's go there. Genesis 3:16. This was when Adam and Eve got cursed. So let's see what the curse was. So let's just see. All right, Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman he said, and of course this is the Most High speaking. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So we see right there, the order was established, that man is above woman. And I know, like I said, I speak for myself in times past, that word submissive, or, my desire being my husband or him ruling over me was like, who are you? Who are you for me to say that you're going to rule over me? Or I have to be submissive to you and I got to listen to you. But I just didn't have understanding. And that misunderstanding came from, like for most of us, is our childhood, what we've seen and encountered, and also being an adult, the things that we've been through, our own experiences. And what the Most High had to show me was, when you are in order, and I bless you with a man that is of order, for myself, you would have no problem with being submissive. You would have no problem with being subjective to your husband, looking to please him, being sure that you're being aligned with my order because he comes from me. So being a queen, when you're blessed with the king that comes from the Most High, he's going to treat you as that queen that you are. You're not going to, or shall I say, he's not going to make you feel less than. He's not going to put you in a position where you seem as if you feel like, or he talks to you as if you're less than. Though you are yet considered the weaker vessel, he will treat you as such. And what I mean by that is treat you delicately as the woman that you are, where you feel more inclined to be feminine, or you feel more inclined to be vulnerable and loving and nurturing and making him feel like the king that he is, and treating him is no different than what you would treat the Most High. But to continue that, I want to go over to 1 Corinthians 11:3 and see what that say real quick. Let's head over there. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm flipping through these pages. All right, 1 Corinthians 11:3, and it states, "But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God." So we can't in one breath say we love the Most High, we love God, we love Jesus, we love Yeshua HaMashiach. But then it's a stumbling block when it comes to the actual order that he has ordained. We can't be double-minded. Either we all in or we not. Either you hot or you cold, because we already know what's going to happen to the lukewarm. So in my perspective, in my case, I got to be all in. So if the Most High said that every man, the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, then I have to listen to that. And if it's hard for me to understand it, if it's hard for me to live by it due to the strongholds that I've been through in my own life and my own experiences or my own uncomfortableness with this topic, then that's something I have to come to the Most High with and say, help me. And that's exactly what I had to do. And I speak to my sisters that have that same feeling, that same notion. If this is a problem for you, this is a hard pill to swallow, then you need to take it to the Most High, because the Most High is all about order. He's all about order. He's all about being sure that everybody is in their own, everybody knows the perspective that he's given for you to be in the lane that he's ordained for you to be in. And as a woman, that is our lane to be a helpmeet. That is our lane to be a nurturer. That is our lane to be subjected to the man, the head of our household. And I even speak for the sisters that are already married and feel like they're with maybe the wrong person, or maybe they feel like they're with the right person and this person is not being subjective to Christ, that he's not having Christ as his head. But what I've learned is, regardless of the situation that you're in, if you've made a covenant, with somebody and you're in that situation and you're not in a position that the Most High is releasing you from that situation or from that covenant of marriage, then it's still your responsibility as a woman to be subjective to the Most High. And with being subjective to the Most High, you're going to be subjected to his order. And what you would have to do is pray for that person that you with. And you have to be patient with the Most High, whether it be the Most High sees fit for him to change, or for him then to continue with Christ being his head, or if the Most High says this truly is not the person that's meant for you. But you would have to still be patient for the Most High to release that person from you, from that covenant. You cannot do that upon your own measures, because that will still be you not being in order. And I don't know the script off the top of my head, so don't exactly quote me on this, but I do know in the script it says that it was Abigail, which was Nabal's wife, and Nabal was a drunk. He, was headstrong, and so to speak, it's like, she don't want to be with this man no more due to his foolish ways, due to him not having Christ as his head. But she still stayed within the order of the Most High. She was still subjected to her husband. She was still obedient to the Most High. Long story short, with her being patient with the Most High, with her being obedient to the Most High, he released her from that covenant. Nabal was later killed, and she then became the wife of King David. You feel what I'm saying? But she didn't take measures in her own hand with saying, okay, I'm going to divorce this man. I'm going to go about my way. You know what I'm saying? She stayed faithful to the Most High, and the Most High saw her through that situation to release her from that situation, to bless her with better. And that's another thing we have to always remember for his children. All things work out for the good, regardless of how uncertain you may feel, how uncomfortable the situation is, all things work out for our good if we're being obedient to his word. So that being said, let's head over to Ephesians 5:22. Let's see. All right, Ephesians 5:22. It states, and we're going to read through 24 and then read 33. All right, so verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. And that doesn't say some things, that says in everything. So as I stated, for the women that are with someone that honestly comes from the Most High, of course you should be subjective to your husband, and I'm pretty sure you feel good with doing so. For the sisters that are in a marriage and they don't feel like he's from the Most High, or they feel like he's not where he needs to be to the Most High, you still have to be subjective, because in all things and everything, because that's what the Most High said. And like I said, you lean to him for your understanding. You lean to him for your counseling. You lean to him for getting you through the times that you may be going through. And you feel like within that covenant of marriage, it's not leading up to the Most High's order, maybe on the husband's end, but you as the wife, you still have to do your part. And for the sisters that are not with anybody, you need to look at this for yourself and say, regardless of how mama raised me, regardless of how grandma raised me, regardless of how sis raised me, aunt raised me, to be an independent woman, strong woman, I don't need no man. Ain't no man gonna be over me. I can't trust no man to be the head of my household, or whatever the case may be. I'm a boss chick. I could do this on my own. No. If you're put in a situation where you have to do things on your own, then so be it. But that should never change or dictate your thought process as far as the Most High order. And that's period. Whether we like it or not. Because we already know the only way that we're going to inherit the kingdom is to fall in subjection to the Most High order, and that's period. There is no ifs, ands, and buts about it. This is what I want to do. This is how I was raised. This is what I feel like is right. That's out the question. You didn't create yourself. So therefore, hearken to what the Creator is telling you to do, which is going to be stated in his word. Let's head over to verse 33. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife, even as himself. And the wife see that she reverence her husband. So she respect her husband. She honor her husband. She's submissive to her husband. She's nurturing to her husband. In subjection to her husband. And yes, it does say, for the man to love his wife as he loves himself. And in this particular episode, I'm not talking about the husbands. I'm talking about sisters, what we're supposed to be doing. And that's not for us to use as an excuse when the husband is not doing what he's supposed to be doing. Whether you consider your boyfriend, husband, fiance, when he's not subjected to the Most High, that has nothing to do with who you're supposed to be in the Most High. Because guess what? The day you get judged, you're not going to be able to use anybody else for an excuse as to why you did something or why you didn't do something. According to the word of God. It's going to all boil down to what you did do or what you did not do. Let's head over to Colossians 3:18. It states, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as it is fit in the Lord. Okay, so if it's fit in the Lord, that means it's seen as righteous before the Lord. And if it's unfit, it's seen as unrighteous before the Lord. And we know that we serve a righteous God. a righteous, almighty power. So this is something that we have to do. It's a command. It's not a if you want to thing. It's a command. In fact, talking about command, let's head over to Esther. Esther's I like this book. Definitely in the beginning. Because it's gonna show you the difference between a woman that listens and a woman that does not. See, y'all give me 1 second, let me find it. Alright, we're gonna start at Esther chapter 1, and we're gonna start off at verse 9 and take it through 19. Okay. And it states, also Vashti, the queen. So this is the queen of Assyrius at the time. Made a feast for the women in the royal house which belonged to King Assyrius. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mehuman, Biztha, Harbana, Bigtha, Abigatha, Zathar, and Carcas, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Assyrius the king, to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, to shew the people and the princess her beauty, for she was fair to look on. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned. So right here we already see that Vashti's not listening. She was commanded to come by the chamberlains, to come to the king, and she refused to come. So the king was hot with her. So let's see what's going to take place. Verse 13. Then the king said to the wise men which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment. And the next unto him was Charshena, Shethar, Admatha, Tarshish, Marius, Marcina, and Memucan. Y'all be with me on these names. The 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which sat the first in the kingdom. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to law, because she have not performed the commandments of the king Assyrius by the chamberlains? And Memucan answered before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen have not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in the provinces of the king Assyrius, because she refused to come listen to what the king told her to do. Verse 17, for this deed of the queen shall come aboard unto all women, so they shall despise their husbands in their eyes when it shall be reported. The king Assyrius commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. So what the princes are saying is, by what the act that Vashti just did, by not listening to you, king, all the other women in the province of the king's palace, they're going to do the exact same thing. They're going to hear that Vashti didn't listen to you, so they're going to do the same thing to their husbands. They're going to despise their husbands and not listen to their husbands when they're commanded to do something by their husbands. So something has to be done for what she has done, this act that she's committed. Verse 19. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before the king Assyrius, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she. Let's continue on 20. And when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, and all the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both to great and small. Okay, we're going to go over to chapter 2 of Esther, starting at verse 1. After these things, when the wrath of King Asarius was appeased, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her. Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, let there be fair young virgins sought for the king. Jump down to verse 4. And let the maiden which pleaseth the king be queen instead of Vashti. And the thing pleased the king, and he did so. Verses 7 through 9. And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother, and the maid was fair and beautiful, whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter. So it came to pass, when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered together to Shushan, the palace, to the custody of Haggai, that Esther was brought also into the king's house, to the custody of Haggai, keeper of the women. And the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him, and he speedily gave her things for purification, with such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens, which were meet to be given her out of the king's house. And he preferred her and her maids unto the best place of the house of the women. So as you see right here, what a woman that's mouthy, a woman that thinks she can usurp authority over a man, a woman that believes that, I'm on the same playing field as you. You're not above me. I can do as I please. I can say as I please. You see what it did to her? She was demoted. She was no longer queen. She was put out the palace, and then she was replaced. So let us not be high-minded and be puffed up to believe that by carrying around this attitude that I'm so much of a woman, and I'm so independent and don't need nobody, that the Most High won't sit us down. And trust me, it's not a comfortable feeling. But instead of going through that, why not just be obedient to his word? Because we already know what happens when you're obedient to his word. You're blessed. He'll bless you. As he said, let's see, in Psalms 139, let's go there. Psalms 139, verse 14. And it states, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, that my soul knoweth right well. So you're fearfully, my sister, and wonderfully made. Marvelous are the Most High's works, and that my soul knoweth right well. And how is that? Because I'm obedient to your word. I will not be ashamed. I will not be forsaken, but I will be patient. I will be obedient to your word. And with those things being done, I will be blessed. Though this kingdom is coming to an end, there is another kingdom to come. So let's be patient. Let's be patient for those that have a husband and that he has Christ as his head. Let him be your head and treat him as the king that he is. For those that have a husband and Christ is not his head, or Christ is his head and you're not in order, get in order. If he's not in order, pray for him. If he is to change, all praise to the Most High. If he does not change, all praise to the Most High, and be patient. For those that are without a husband, be patient. Get yourself in order. Stop pointing the finger of what he has done wrong, what you've been hurt by. But pray to the Most High for you to be fixed, for you to be made fearfully and wonderfully made before his eyes, to be seen worthy, for you to be blessed with the king that's fit for you, that's ordained for you. And there'll be more blessings to come. with that being said, y'all, that's all I had to say. It makes me, it vexes my spirit to see so many of our sisters that definitely in this day and age that, I'm good. I don't need no man. And, I got my woman rights. But what is a woman without the man? Because clearly we know where women came from. We came from men. Though we birth men, it's the man that has the seed within him. So women, realize this. What are you without the man? And man, what are you without the woman? But as I said today, my topic was for my sisters. So let's stop counting out the man. It's many women empowerment groups, but realize your household is nothing without the man. Understand that. And I understand a lot of us have been through traumatic situations, and a lot of it is not by our own will. But know that falling in subjection to the Most High's order, you will be blessed. Regardless of what you've been through in the past, regardless of what you've encountered, what you've seen, if you are submitted to the Most High's order, you will be blessed. Believe that. With all those things being said, I say shalom.